Hi everyone, I'm Jazzy Dofredo, your reporter about the Rule 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the softball. Rule 9, Dead ball, ball in play. Section 1, the ball is dead. The ball is dead and not in play in the following circumstances. A. When the ball is bought illegally. B. When the batter step from one backs to another when the pitcher is FP only, taking the signal, or appears to the taking the signal from the pitcher's plate, or SP only, steps on the pitcher plate. C. When no pitch is declared. D. When a pitch ball touches any part of the batter's person or clothing, whether the ball is struck at not or not. E. When a foul fly ball is not caused. F. When the offensive team causes interference. G. When a fair butt ball strike an umpire or runner. Number 1. Before touching a fielder, including the pitcher, and number 2. Before passing a fielder other than the pitcher without being touched, or number 3. After passing a fielder, including or excluding rather the pitcher, and in the umpire's judgment, another fielder had a chance to make an out. H. When the ball is out and establish playing limits of the playing area. I. When an accident to a batter runner or runner prevents him from proceeding to a ward based. He may be substitute. The substitute will be allowed to proceed to any awarded bases. The substitute must legally touch all awarded or missed bases not previously touched. J for SF only when the batter bunts or chops the pitch ball. K. FP only when a wild pitch or pass ball goes under, over, or through the backstop. L. When the umpire calls time. M. When any part of the batter's person is hit with his own batted ball when still the batter's back. N. When the runner runs bases at reverse order or off the baseline while not attempting to advance, either to confuse the fielders or to make the travesty of the game. O. When a coach near third base run in the direct of home plate on a near the baseline, while the fielder is attempting to make a play on a butt or thrown ball and thereby draws a throw to home plate. B. When one or more members of the offensive team stand or collect at or around a base to which a runner is advancing, thereby confusing the fielders and adding to the difficulty of making play. Q. FP only when the runner fails to keep contact with the base to which he is entitled until a legally pitched ball has been released. R. SP only when the runner fails to keep contact with the base to which he is entitled until the legally pitched ball has reached home plate. S for SP only after each strike or ball. T when a black ball is declared. U when a batter enters the batter's box with or uses an altered bat. F when a batter enters the batter's box with or uses an illegal bat. W when With less than two out and a runner on first base, a fielder intentionally drops a fair fly ball, including a line drive, FP and SP, or bunt, FP only, that could be caught by the infielder with ordinary effort after it is controlled with a hand or glove. X. When a fielder carries the live ball into dead ball territory. Y. When time has been called and a defensive player is making an appeal. Z. When the batter fails to enter the batter's back between 10 seconds after the umpire calls play ball. A. When any person other than a team member enters the playing field and creates interference. B. When a batter runner steps back toward home plate to avoid or delay attack by a fielder. C. When offensive team member deliberately erases the line of the batter's back. When a batter is issued an international base on balls. E. When a strike is called a batter for stepping out of the batter's back and delayed the game. Section 2. Ball is in play. The ball is in play in the following circumstances. A. At the first game or at the first of the game, each half inning. When the pitcher has the ball while standing in his pitching position and the plate umpire has called play ball. B. When the infield fly rule is in force. C. When a thrown ball goes past a fielder and remains a playable territory. D. When a fair ball strikes an umpire or runner on fair ground under first, the passing is a fielder excluding the pitcher, and no other fielder had a chance to make an out. Or number 2, touching a fielder including the pitcher. E. When a fair ball strikes an umpire on foul ground. F. When the runner have reached the bases of which they are entitled after the fielder illegally fields a bat, thrown or pitched ball. G. When a runner is called out for passing a preceding runner. H. When no play is being made on an obstructed runner. The ball shall remain alive until the play is over. I. When a fair ball is legally bought. J. When the runner must return in reversed order while the ball is in the play. K. When a runner acquires the right to a base by touching it before being put out. L. When a base is dislodged while runners are progressing around the bases. M. When a runner runs more than 0.91 m and 3 feet from the base path in a regular or reverse order to avoid being touched by the ball in the hand of the fielder. N. When a runner is tagged or forced out. O. When the umpire calls the runner out for failure to return and touch the base when the play is resumed after a suspension of play. P. When a live ball appeal play is legally being made. Q. When the batter hits the ball. R. When a live ball strikes a photographer, groundskeeper, policeman, etc. assigned to the game when a fly ball has been legally caught. T. when a thrown ball strikes an offensive player. Lieu, if the batter drops the bat and the ball rolls again the bat in fair territory and in the umpire's judgment, there was no intention to interfere with the course of the ball. V. When a thrown ball strikes an umpire. W. Whenever the ball is not dead, as provided in Section 1 of this rule. X. When a thrown ball accidentally strikes the, a coach. Y. FP only. When the ball has been called on the batter and when four balls have been called but the batter may not be put out before he reaches first base. Z. FB only when strikes have been called on the batter and when three strikes have been called on the batter. A. FB only when a foul tip has been legally called. B. SP only as long as they are played as a result of the hit by the batter. This includes the subsequent appeal play. C. FB only when the ball slips from a pitcher's hand during his wind-up or during the ball swing. AD. When a runner is called out for getting a runner start from a base on any fly ball. AE. When a runner abandons a base, does not attempt to advance to the next base, enter his team area, or leaves the field of play and is called out. AF. When a runner is called out for being physically assisted by anyone other than another runner. AG, SP only, the following remains live until the umpire calls time. This should be done when the ball is held by player in the infield and in the opinion of the umpire, all play has ceased. Section 3. Delayed dead ball. There are 5 situations where the violation of the rule occurs and umpire recognize it and the ball remains live until the conclusion of the play. These situations are A. An illegal pitch, B. Catcher's obstruction, C. For FP only, plate umpire interference, D. Obstruction, E. Detached equipment contacting a thrown ball, a pitch ball, and a fair bat ball. Rule number 10. Umpires. Section 1. Power and duties. The umpires are the representative of the luggage or organization by which they have been assigned to a particular game and as such as authorized rather and required to enforce each section of these rules. They have the power to order a player, coach, captain, or manager to do or omit to do any act which in their judgment is necessary to give force and effect to one or all of these rules and to inflict penalties penalties rather as herein prescribed. The plate umpire shall have the authority to make decision on any situation not specially covered in the rules. General information for umpires. A. The umpire should not be a member of either team. Example, player, coach, manager, officer, scorer, or sponsor. B. The umpire should be make date, time, and place of the game and should arrive at the playing field 20 to 30 minutes ahead of time, start the game on the time, and leave the field when the game is over. C. The male and female umpire must wear first a powder blue long or short sleeved shirt, 2. Dark navy blue socks. 3. Dark navy blue slacks. 4. Dark navy blue cup with white and blue trim ISPF letters on the front. Number 5. Dark navy blue ball bag, plate only. 6. Dark navy blue jacket or sweater. 7. Black shoes and belt. 8. A white t-shirt worn under the powder blue shirt. D. Umpires must not wear exposed jewelry that may pose a hazard. E. The plate umpire is fast pitch must wear a black face mask, black or tan padding, and black throat protector and a body protector and shin guards with knee protection. An extended wire protection may be worn by lieu of throat protector on the mask. F. The umpire should introduce themselves to the captain, managers, and scorers. 9. The umpire should expect the playing field boundaries, equipment, and clarify all grounds rules to both teams and their coaches. Each, each umpire should have the power to make decision on violation committed any time during playing time and during suspension of the time until the game is over. I. Neither umpire has the authority to set aside or question decision made by the other within the limits of their respective duties as outlined in these rules. J. An umpire may consult his associated at any time. However, the final decision shall rest with the umpire whose exclusive authority it was to make the decision and who requested the opinion of the other. K. In order to define their respective duty, the umpire judging rather balls and strikes shall be designated as the plate umpire, the umpire judging base decision as the base umpire. L. The plate umpire or base umpire shall have equal authority to first call a runner out for leaving a base too soon, 2. Call time for suspension of play, 3. Remove or eject a player, coach, or manager from a game for violation of rules. Number 4. Call an illegal pitches. 5. Determine and call an infield fly. M. M. The umpire shall declare the batter or runner out without waiting for an appeal for such decision in all cases where such player is retired in accordance with these rules, and umpire shall not penalize a team for infraction of a rule when imposing the penalty will be to the advantage of the offending team. All failure of umpires to adhere the rule then shall not be grounds for protest. These are the guidelines for umpires. Section 2. The plate umpire. A. Shall take a position in back of the catcher. He shall have full charge of and be responsible for the proper conduct of the game. B. Shall call all balls and strikes. C. Shall by agreement and in cooperation with the base umpire call plays, hit balls fair or foul, legal or illegal, cost ball on plays that would necessitate that the ball umpire leaving the infield. The plate umpire should assume the duties normally required to the base umpire. D. Shall determine and declare whether first a batter bunts or chops the ball. 2. A batter ball touches the person or clothing of the batter. E. Shall render base decision when required to do so. F. Shall determine when a game is forfeited. G. Shall assume all duties when assigned as a single umpire to the game. Section 3. The base umpire. A. Shall take such position on the playing field as required in accordance with relevant umpire system. B. Shall assist the plate umpire in every way to enforce the rules of the game. Section 4. Responsibilities of a single umpire. If only one umpire is assigned, his duty and jurisdiction shall extend to all points. The umpire's starting position for each pitch shall be from behind home plate. On each batted ball or plate that develops, the umpire should move out from behind and plate into the infield to obtain the best position for any play that develops. Section 5. Change of umpires. Umpires can be changed during a game by the consent of the opposing teams unless the umpire is incapacitated by injury or illness. Section 6. Umpire judgment. There should be no appeal from any decision of any umpire, on the grounds that he was not correct in his conclusion as to whether a bat ball was fair or foul, a runner safe or out, a pitch ball or a strike or ball, or on any play involving accuracy of judgment. No decision rendered by any umpire shall be revised, except that he be convinced it in violation of one of these rules. In case the manager, captain, or either team does seek a reversal of the decision based fully on a point of the rules, the umpire whose decision is the question shall, if in doubt, confer with his associate but before taking any action. But under no circumstances shall any player or person other than the manager or the captain of either team have any legal right to protest or any decision and seek its reversal on a claim that it is in conflict with these rules. Section 7. Signals. A. To indicate the play shall begin or to resume, the umpire shall call play ball and at the same time motion the pitcher to deliver the ball. B. A strike shall be indicated by raising the right hand, umpire indicating the numbers of strikes by the finger and at the same time calling strikes in the clear and decisive voice. C. To indicate a ball, no arm signal is used. D. To indicate the total count of balls and strikes, the balls are called first. E. To indicate a foul, the umpire shall call foul ball and extend an arm horizontally away from the diamond according to the direction of the ball. F. To indicate a fair ball, the umpire shall extend an arm toward the center of the diamond using a pumping motion. G. To indicate a batter or runner out, the umpire shall raise the right hand upward above the right shoulder with first closed. H. To indicate the player is safe, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontal to the side of the body with palms toward the ground. I. To indicate suspension of play, the umpire should call time and at the same time extend both arms above The other umpire shall immediately acknowledge the suspension of play with similar action. Again, with similar action. J. To indicate the delayed dead ball, the umpire shall extend the left arm horizontal with first closed. K. To indicate the drop ball, the umpire shall extend both arms horizontal to the side of the body with palms toward the ground. 1. L. Rather, to indicate the ground rule double, the umpire shall extend the right hand above the head, at the same time indicate with two fingers the number of bases awarded. M. To indicate the home run rather, the umpire shall extend the right hand with first closed above the head in a circle. The arm is clockwise movement. N. To indicate an infield fly, the umpire shall call infield fly in fair. The batter is out. The umpire shall extend one arm above the head. O. To indicate not to pitch, the umpire should raise one hand with the palm facing the pitcher. No pitch shall be declared if the pitcher pitches while the umpire has his hand in said position. Section 8. Suspension of play. 8. An umpire may suspend play when, in his judgment, conditions justify such action. B. Play should be suspended whether the plate umpire leaves his position to brush the plate and to perform other duties not directly connected with the calling of the plays. C. The umpire should suspend play whether a batter or pitcher step out the position of legitimate reason. D. An umpire should not call time after pitcher has started the wind up. E. The umpire should not call time when any play is in progress. F. In case of injury, except in the umpire's judgment, with a serious injury which may put the player in danger, time shall not be called until all plays in progress have been complete or runners have been held at their base. G. Umpire shall not suspend play at the request of players, coaches, and managers until the action of the progress by either team has been complete. H. SP only when the opinion of an umpire of immediate play is apparently completed, time should be called. Rule number 11. Protest. Section 1. Protest that will not be received. Protests shall not be received or considered if they are based solely on the decision involving the accuracy of judgment on the part of an umpire, or if the team lodging the protest won the game. Example of protests that will not be considered are A. Whether the bat ball was fair or foul. B. Whether the runner was safe or out. C. Whether the pitch ball was strike or a ball. D. Whether a pitch was legal or illegal. E. Whether a runner did or did not touch a base. F. Whether a runner left the base too soon and caused fly ball. G. Whether a fly ball was or was not caught legally. H. Whether it was or was not an infield play. I. Whether there was or was not an interference. J. Whether there was or was not an obstruction. K. Whether player or live ball rather did or did not enter the dead ball area or touch some object or person in dead ball area. L. Whether what the volley did or did not clear the fence in flight. M. Whether the field is fit to continue or resume play, and whether there is sufficient light to continue play. O. Any other matter involving only the accuracy of the umpire judgment. Section 2. Protests that will be received. Protests that shall be received and considered including materials of the following type. A. Misinterpretation of the playing rule. B. Failure of umpire to apply the correct rule to the given situation. F. Failure to expose the correct penalty of the given violation. 2. After one pitch has been thrown, legal or illegal, no change can be made on any umpire's ruling. D. Eligibility of the team roster member. Section 3. Protests involving judgment and interpretation rule. Protests may involve both a matter of judgment and the interpretation of rule. An example of a situation of this type follows with one out of the runners on section and third bases, the batter out. The runner on third tagged up after the catch. The player on the second did not. The runner on the third crossed the plate before the ball was played at second base of the third out. Section 4. Notification of intent to lodge protest. The notification of intent to protest must be made immediately before the next pitch. A. The manager or acting manager of the protesting team shall immediately notify the plate umpire that the game is being continued under protest. The plate umpire shall in turn notify the opposing manager and official scorekeeper. B. All interested parties shall take notice of the conditions surrounding the making of this decision that will aid in the correct dimension of the issue. Section 5. Time to lodge an official protest. The official written protest must be filed within reasonable time. A. In the absence of the logic or tournament rule fixing the time limit of filing a protest should be considered in filed within the reasonable time, depending upon the nature of the case and difficulty of obtaining the information on which to base the protest. B. Within 48 hours after the scheduled time of the contest is generally considered a reasonable time. Section 6. Information required for written protest. The formal written protest should contain the following information: A. The date, time, place of the game. B. The names of the umpire and the scorer. C. The rule and section of the official rules or local rules under which the protest is made. D. The decision and conditions surrounding the making of decision. E. All essential parts involved in the matter protested. Section 7. Result of the protest. The decision made on the protest game is result in one of the following. A. The protest is found invalid and the game score stand as played. B. When the protest is allowed to misinterpretation of playing rule, the game is replayed from the point at which the incorrect decision was made, with this decision corrected. C. When the protest of eligibility of the team roster member is allowed, the game shall be forfeited by the offending team. Rule 12. The scoring. Section 1. The official scorer. A shall keep records of each game as outlined in the following rules. B shall have the sole authority to have all direction involving judgment. Section 2. The score base. Each player name and the position or possession to be played shall be listed in the order in which be bought, or would have bought unless the player is legally substitute, injected, or removed from the game or the game ends before its turn at bat. Section 3. Base hits shall not be recorded. A base hit shall not be scored in the following cases: A. When the runner is forced out by a batted ball, or would have been forced out except of the fielding errors. C. IB. When the player fielded a batted ball, retries and preceding runner with ordinary effort. C. When a fielder fails in an attempt to retire a preceding runner and in the scorer's judgment, the batter runner could have been retried and first base. D. When a batter runner reaches first base safely as a result of preceding number being called out the interference with bat ball and defensive player. Section 4. Sacrifice 5 balls. A sacrifice 5 is scored when with less than 2 outs. A. The bat scores a runner with a fly ball which is caught, or B. The ball or the line drive handed by an outfielder or an infielder running in the outfield is dropped and runner scores. In the scorer's judgment, the runner could have scored after the catch have been fly ball been caught. Section 5. The runs bat in. A run bat in is a run score because of one of the following reasons: A. A safe hit, B. A safe bunt or slop hit, FP only, or sacrifice fly for FP and SP, C. A foul fly caught, D. An infield output or put out or fielder's choice, E. A runner forced home because of obstruction and batter being hit when pitch ball are given a base on balls. F. A home run and all run scores scored as a result. Section 6. Pitcher credited with a win. A pitcher shall be credited with a win in the following situation: A. When he is starting pitching and has pitched at least 4 innings and his team was not only the lead when he is replaced but remain in the lead of the remaining remainder of the game. B. When the game is ended after 5 innings of play and started pitcher has pitched at least 3 innings and his time score more runs than the other team when the game is terminated. Section 7. A 7 The Section 7 is a pitcher change with a loss. A pitcher shall be changed with a loss regardless of the number of innings and he has pitched if he replaced when his team is behind the score and his team thereafter fails to tie the score rather, or gain the lead. Section 8. Game Summary. The summary shall list the following items in this order: A. The score by innings and the final score. B. The runs bat in and by whom hit. C. Two base hits and by whom hit. D. Three base hit and whom hit. E. Home runs and by whom hit. F. Sacrifice flies by whom hit. G. Double plays and players participating in them. H. Triple plays and players participating in them. I. Number of walks given by each pitcher. J. Number of batters struck out by each pitcher. K. Number of hits and runs allowed by each pitcher. L. The name of the winning pitcher. M. The name of the losing pitcher and the time of the game. O. The name of the umpires and the scorers. P for FP only. Stolen bases and by whom. Q. Sacrifice bunts. F are rather the names of batters hit by pitched ball and pitcher who hit them. S. The number of wild pitches made by each pitcher. T. The number of passed ball made by each catcher. Section 9. Stolen bases. FP only. A stolen bases are credited to runner whenever he advances one base unaided by a hit, put out, an error, a force out, a fielder choice, a pass ball, a wild pitch, or an illegal pitch. A. This includes a batter runner advancing to second on the awarded base on balls. Section 10. Records of forfeited game. All records of forfeited game shall be included in official records except that of the pitcher's won-loss record. That's for rule number 9, 10, 11, and 12 of the softball. Thanks for listening. God bless and keep safe.